Welcome to NEK-TV Rocks, and my guest today is Goodell, and you are a Qigong and Tai Chi practitioner, correct?
That is correct.
And you're working up here.
I am.
So, what brings you here, and where is your practice? And then tell us, what is your practice? What do you do?
What brings me here? Well, I've met you before at the MAC Art Center, and you guys came into the Thai restaurant with a mutual friend.
You hang out in all the best places.
Yeah, do a little waiter in there.
Yeah.
I also do carpentry like 2-3 days a week, and then balance in, build in a practice, and put in my energy into that, which is very much important. So you're here because of a mutual friend and a spontaneous offering on your half, and I was very much enthused to hear that. And I find it very connected because in my teacher training I just completed, one of the other practitioners or the senior teachers, this is what she did in Santa Barbara, California. So she shared that with all of us, and then 2 weeks later I get the same offer. And I was like, oh.
See, it can happen in Vermont too.
Connecting the dots, right?
Right. So tell us about Tai Chi. I mean, some people sort of know a bit about it, but it's not a big practice up here compared with, say, yoga.
Yes. Not as popular up in our general area right now, but there is, Tai Chi itself is expanding very quickly, and there's a lot of medical research on it and its benefits to benefit brain plasticity. When you are focusing on how your body moves and you're relaxing your body and you're breathing deeply, we have our respiratory system is one of the most healing things we have.
Right.
So breathing creates better function and more relaxation in the body. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So there's a lot of science and awesome research behind this. A website I would recommend is the National Qigong Association. They do all kinds of research on Tai Chi and Qigong. A simple clarification, Qigong is basically a very similar practice as Tai Chi. So if anyone is wondering what that may be, then
and they're sort of
the same basket.
Movement, breath component of Chinese traditional medicine.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. It is essentially connecting the mind with the breath and the posture. And our nervous system, our central nerve is our spine.
Right.
And we have these discs in between each one of our vertebrae. So these discs in our culture and our society and the jobs that are available, we are not using the fluidity or the actual flexibility of our spine. So the practices of Tai Chi, these gentle movements when paired with the breath, promotes relaxation, but it brings the spine forward. It brings the spine backwards. It brings the spine side to side. And within the practices, as you focus on your breath and lengthening and getting that proper posture, and you're breathing in, you're filling your lungs up with air, you're creating space, you're helping your muscles relax, you're promoting healing. So these discs in between our spine, it's very important to keep those fluids healthy. So when you hear, I slipped a disc, that means somebody had an unbalanced disc in their spine. You know, there was too much fluid in one side and it got pushed out. So by moving and getting full mobility of our spine, which is connected to our nervous system and everything else in our body, it creates better function, less pain.
So can it help, I mean, as we age in this culture, and this isn't necessarily true in other cultures, but in this culture, as we age, we shrink. And we shrink because our spine compresses and our bones weaken. But that is probably avoidable, but our lifestyle has not been helpful with that.
That is very true. To say it nicely, I always say America is a confused melting pot.
Yeah.
And we really don't have a whole lot of guidance, especially reflected on my own experience. Nobody actually took me aside and offered a meditation practice to me, or a practice that could help calm me down,
right,
regulate my emotions, especially as, children. These are the basic things that they need to learn. No one teaches us the importance of breath and how the breath can relax us, and the importance of taking care of our spine, because everything we do in Tai Chi, in life, it comes from our center.
Right.
So strengthening the center, strengthening the muscles in the core, the back, mobilizing the spine, utilizing all of your body, your fingers, your feet, feeling those things, and the process of contracting and releasing them, it helps the lymphatic system. The lymph is like the healing of the body. It's the healing function of the body. So the more lymph we have, and the more that is being produced and processed by our body's functioning, by its organs, the higher those function, the healthier we feel, the better we feel.
And the longer we keep moving.
And the longer we keep moving, and avoid potential thinking retirement's the end of it. No, retirement is the time to start hiking mountains.
It should be a beginning of it.
Yes, yes, and it's it's really difficult when people are in those circumstances, because it took many years to get in that circumstance of being very incapacitated, but that doesn't matter if you have the intention to heal, and you have all of us. All human beings have resiliency to us. I mean, you see what people go through in some of these stories, or medical anomalies that happen, it's extraordinary.
Right.
The resilience people have when they actually persevere, and they put their attitude strongly onto something. So if you have the attitude of wanting to feel better, and the optimism and open-mindedness to realize that these practices really do benefit you.
Yeah, one of the things that concerns a lot of us as we age is about balance and our fear of falling, because we don't bounce like we used to.
Oh.
So, how can Tai Chi help with that?
Well, Tai Chi could very much help with that, because when you are not just promoting the relaxation response, but in Tai Chi, each of the limbs, the feet, the legs, the hands, they are doing a different set of motions. They're kind of mirroring each other. So when you step forward, and that's Tai Chi walking. And then when you utilize the hands, they're always kind of mirroring each other. It's like you're trying to feel into the healing qualities of life, or energy, or however people want to think of that or label it. You're feeling into something that is vaster than maybe your limited health circumstance or who you are as an individual, but you're feeling into a harmony. And many of us probably have experienced that, especially in nature. If you go out into nature, one of my favorite areas to go is I like to go up on the bike path, and they have snowshoe hiking trails, biking trails, and there's just beautiful pine trees in there, and just to go in there and just to relax. Even I like the snowshoes, so the snowiness on the trees, and just to be in there with the fresh cold air and the pine. It's just a natural feeling of relaxation, and that I'm part of the environment around me, and there's peace there. And these practices, they help us recognize that more in our life, and also manage not just our physical well-being, but our emotional well-being, maybe our spiritual well-being, if you may call it that. So they benefit In my experience, I've been a practitioner of meditation, yoga, and Tai Chi for about 5 years now. And my experience is it's just a progressive path of being able to feel better each day, to continue to grow, and to actually realize that maybe we have much more to offer the world and ourselves than we might even consider as possible in our given present moment. If I look back on who I was 5 years ago, it's incomprehensible to who I am now.
Right. And I'm sure that's a pathway for a lot of people. And then there will be others who can be curious and like to dip a toe in the water, say with a yoga class or with a Tai Chi class, but not get into the rest of the cosmic how shall I put this? The sort of the woo-woo part of it, which for some is a little alienating, and for others is very inviting. But it is possible to participate, to partake, sort of as the a la carte version. You know, I'd like to learn how to not fall over when I walk down the street.
Yes.
I'd like to be able to stand on one leg, to put my shoes on, and not feel I have to clutch the wall.
And the president of the National Qigong Association, his name is slipping my mind right now, but in our training, he came on and they did a presentation, him and one of his colleagues, and it was very beautiful because the word in Chinese medicine for energy is called qi. And he realized every time he used this word, the people like step back and we're like, oh, I don't know about this. It seems a little mystical or whatnot, and I don't know if I believe in that. And so they actually realized that, okay, well, what does energy do? And these practices do, these mind-body practices where we are intentionally trying to cultivate healing energy and bring ourselves harmony. What does it do for us? So after they sat down and really carefully thought about this, they just started calling it function. Qi is function. The energy that we can come to harmony with and relax into helps us function better. When we are at ease and our mind isn't scattered all over the place, like when we're in nature or whenever we've experienced that peaceful feeling, you are at ease, you can focus on what you're doing, you can function better. So they have used that word, function. That's a really important distinction, and that will help people be willing to explore. And who knows where it goes from there. But to have people learn ways in which they're safer in the world, walking out there. I mean, we live in a snowy part of the world. We do. Up here. It's and tough
it's
in the winters.
Sad to limit ourselves because we're afraid to go out.
You know, a big thing, not just to people who are maybe elderly or struggling with health conditions that don't want to slip and fall, but just society in general. In the winter times in our areas, we close ourselves indoors too much. And I always encourage people, spend money on good winter clothes. Spend time outside still. Go for walks. Don't neglect yourself in that way, because why do we get depressed? We're not outside, we're not getting the little sunlight that's available. You know, the part of the practice is these practices were derived from the sages or the Tai Chi masters of China observing nature. And the peaceful qualities nature would invoke. So then they would say, how can I mirror these qualities and bring my breath, posture, and mind fully engaged into maybe cultivating these qualities of peacefulness or of, you know, a different element. Say you're feeling hot and you're angry, well, you probably want some water, right? So maybe you could do some flow in motion, which is just simple breathing. Inhale, exhale. So you're washing everything away. Okay, you're breathing.
Nice imagery.
You're clearing it out. So that is And a lot of my colleagues, they've developed their own forms over time.
Sure.
From watching caterpillars and how they crawl and the process of a caterpillar going into a butterfly and how it becomes at one point this primordial soup in its cocoon. It's not even a form, it's just a formless soup. So these are the things that these ancient masters observed and said, this is therapeutic, this is healing. How can I create this into something that can help me re-invite that feeling of peace or that quality I felt when I observed that part of nature, and re-invite that and bring healing to myself. So they're very deep in many ways. And there's a lot of, if it's something that interests people, there's a lot of significance in learning what, like if you're doing a different form, where that form came from. If that's something that interests people, I've seen many people get a lot of benefit from just looking into the association with that. And how does this benefit me? Right.
Yeah. Why am I moving backwards as opposed to what we tend to do in this culture, which is always hunch forward? Do we extend or do we flex?
And you know, on that note, the way this practice is instructed, it also helps people understand how they can transition the weight from their center throughout their body in a way that actually protects their knees. Maybe makes their hips more flexible, strengthens the legs. The legs promote the most vitality. The legs are very important. If you don't have strong legs, then it's hard for the rest of your body to be healthy. Because they have such they're big muscles. We got our quads, our hamstrings, and our glutes. And they probably help providing the circulation or the pumping of the lymph.
They do.
From the lymphatic system. And you just start, you know, in my own practice, my own healing practice, as I cultivate these forms, they make more sense to me. And I actually understand something that I may have not even considered when I first started these. I just really knew there was something to benefit me, and there was a sense of peace and well-being when I did them. And I think that's plenty of validation to continue doing something.
Yeah, and when you experience the change in yourself, and when you realize that or you catch sight of yourself in a mirror, and you suddenly realize your shoulders are back, they're not the habitual posture, the Neanderthal posture that we tend to adopt.
And that's what I was hinting on, is the way the practices are directed through the body. They help us move in a way that protects and helps maintain the function and integrity of our body, and the very important parts that help us do all the things we take for granted until we cannot no longer do them. And there's so many times there's people very dear to me that I see their body doesn't function in a way that it used to. And it's very crippling and hard for them mentally to fathom that. They get frustrated, they get angry. And knowing that there is a way to maybe provide alleviation and healing to that for people, well, that is what has inspired me to be a Tai Chi teacher. Because I've seen the benefits of my life, and I do not want to just keep them for myself, because that would be selfish. I need to share them.
Absolutely. It would be really cool if this could be taught in elementary school, so that there's a foundation.
Yes. From my understanding, and my colleagues, ages like 5 and 6 are really hard, because kids only have so much of an attention span at those ages. But as you get like 7, 8, 9, 10, they can actually have fun with it and stuff. But the real little kids are a difficult crowd
even little
sometimes.
Kids are currently in a lot of the schools being taught to breathe, focus, and center, because it's a way for the teacher to be able to actually teach something, as opposed to just constantly reining in little hyper kids.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We've got so much energy.
I remember when I was in school, they recommended I took an ADHD medication, and my mom was absolutely appalled, and she just said, you know, he is a 6-year-old kid, and he has energy, and no, I'm not going to medicate my child, so you guys
Let me
are
drug you
teachers.
into compliance, right? Because that's really what so often that is.
So it warms my heart to hear that there's different pathways and more holistic recommendations, and just jumping right to that, the medical side of things, of evaluating symptoms and then prescribing, you know, that process. It's not always as effective, and we might not know that there's a more natural way to heal and actually address it instead of just temporarily alleviating it.
Do you have a space where you're teaching currently?
I do. I have a Sunday morning class at 10 a.m. at the Common Place in Derby Line, Vermont.
Oh, that's cool.
Right by the Circle K there.
Yeah. And is that a drop-in class?
It is. It's fairly small right now. I'm the newest practitioner in the building, and I haven't done the best to get my advertising out there.
But you're working on that.
I'm working on that.
This will help.
I'm very busy. I have, as I was saying, the carpentry job, the Thai restaurant, and I'm building a tiny house so I can begin to develop a mushroom farm with, with a business partner and friend of mine, an organic culinary and medicinal mushroom farm, and a organic vegetable farm. I already have fruit trees planted and raspberry bushes.
Where's your land?
It is in Coventry.
Oh, great.
Yes, I don't know if you've ever been on the Alderbrick Road in Coventry.
Absolutely.
But I have the best view on the road, guaranteed.
That's fantastic. And mushrooms are probably my favorite thing on the planet.
I recall you saying that.
I love mushrooms.
They love us. They're the only plant, fungi you call them, that they breathe oxygen.
Right.
And they release carbon dioxide. And the mushroom is just the fruit of the actual intelligent network that lives in symbiosis with the soil, the trees. It's called the mycelium, and it's this network of intelligence. And the people who study that, the endopharmacologists and the mycologists and stuff, they're realizing these network of intelligences, they communicate with each other, and they span for miles and miles under the surface of the ground. And then when the conditions are right, the fruit of that mycelium will pop up under an oak tree or a birch tree
or on a log,
or decomposed in leaves or wood chips, whatever that particular mushroom likes.
And the skill in doing that is immense, but their taste is delicious.
Oh, it's hand in hand. It balances them.
It certainly does.
Some of those health foods are, you know, they might have a bitter taste or might be off-putting to us. So to have that balance.
How can people reach you at the Common Place or wherever you're going to be teaching as well?
Right now, I have my personal phone number or business phone number too. They're the same number.
So we can put that at the end of this show.
Yep.
We're doing this show a little bit differently because usually we're just sort of chatting. But because you have this particular skill, we're going to move these desks out of the way. I tried to recruit other people in the studio, but they ran for the hills. So you get to take me through some really basic stuff. But
wonderful.
As a geriatric, you know, teach me what I need to know in 10 minutes or less.
I will do my very best to walk you through a simple and peaceful instruction.
Fantastic.
Of this wonderful healing practice.
That's great. And we're going to stop this part right now and then just move into actual Tai Chi.
Wonderful. Grounding down through the feet parallel to one another. Weight in the heels, knees soft, softness in the knees, softness in the hands. So we're just consciously coming up our body, relaxing it. Inhale. As you inhale, draw up the crown of the head, adjust the posture. exhale. And I like to start my practice off this way. I inhale. I imagine like a tree draws up energy from its roots. Inhale. Exhale. And I sink into my heels a little bit. Kind of gets the whole body gently moving. Inhale. Drawing up through the roots. Exhale, relaxing. Imagining the roots are expanding. You know, trees get their nutrients from their roots. They get life from their roots. So in the same way, we get life from our breath. Directing the breath, using nature as that mirror with the intention of healing, can be very relaxing, very powerful. Inhale. Exhale, relaxing. On the next inhale, stepping out. And you just going to mirror me as we talk. Exhale, relaxing down into the knees, relaxing the hands. Inhale, reaching up into the sky, as if you are pushing up. Exhale, or inhale all the way, get to the top, fill up. Exhale, bringing the hands together, gently pushing into each other, and rounding the spine. Inhale, reaching up, gently curving the spine, and reaching up as you're pushing. Inhale all the way. Exhale, bringing the hands together, gently rounding the spine. Do 3 more at our own breath pace. Inhale. And there's a lot of little subtleties you can do with the hands and the wrist. Like inhale. You can pull the wrist back toward you. You can push them up while you're inhaling. You can go to the side. Exhale. Inhale, hands to the side. Elongate up through the crown of the head. Exhale, as if you're being pulled up into the side. So not to kink the neck, but we are creating length in the spine. And exhale all the way. You can get some shoulder movement in there. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. This is called a bamboo tree in wind. So as we inhale to center, exhale, we can just keep following our breath back and forth. Inhale, exhale. We can raise our arm. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I like to inhale, bring my hand to my waist. Inhale all the way. Exhale, using the hand as support. Really getting a side body stretch. Getting the spine limbered up. Inhale. My teacher often has said, Roger Yankee from the Integral Institute of Qigong and Tai Chi, where I was trained, he has always said that his first book was called The Healer Within. And he said the most profound medicine we have is within us. Inhale, exhale. And when he was 14 years old, his front tooth got knocked out. Inhale, exhale. And to his own miracle, he witnessed his adult tooth grow back. And he realized there was some healing quality to life, and he wanted to figure out what that was. Well, a very long time later, a lifetime later, he is a Chinese medicine doctor. Inhale. And a Tai Chi master. So just never know where our curiosities can lead us.
That's right.
In a good way. All right. Exhale, relaxing. Maybe a little shaken. This is called spontaneous Tai Chi.
To music.
And the intention here is, just getting the joints moving, shaking everything off. It shakes the organs up. It kind of just gets the energy moving, stagnant energy. We're going to set the intention of breaking it free. Maybe dancing a little bit, People have been dancing and singing around fires for thousands of years.
Always, right.
Oh, you might feel a little tingling. A little tingle or a little, okay, I'm feeling relaxed, I'm feeling good, my hips are feeling good. And our next movement is going to be Tai Chi walking. So I guess you could kind of follow me in the course and we can do a little mirrored circle, yes. Inhale, sweeping the hand up. Forming your what is called a Tai Chi ball or energy ball, however you want to look at it. Transitioning the feet to the direction you'll be walking, so the other direction, you'll follow me. And then stepping forward, exhale, harmonizing yin and yang. So we are releasing anger, releasing judgment. Inhale, bringing the hands together. Gently rock back, bringing the hands together. Post step, step forward, adjusting, stepping forward. Upper hand comes down, lower hand goes out. Harmonizing yin and yang. So we're releasing, sweeping the hands. Inhale, gently rocking back, posting, regaining your center. Rotating the ball. Exhale, stepping forward. Brush knee. Hand comes down, sweeping across the knee. Upper hand comes forward. Gentle movement in the spine. Inhale. Finding your ball. Letting the lower hand drop away. Stepping forward. Brushing the hand aside. Exhale, gentle twist in the spine. Now, inhale, open. Exhale, weight into the back heel, stepping backwards, cutting the path to clarity. So here's that balance aspect you were talking about. Inhale, elongating up through the crown of the head. Weight into the heels, finding our balance. Exhale, cutting the path to clarity. Inhale, opening up. Weight into the back heel, stepping backward, cutting the path to clarity. Now our hand that's coming back as we inhale, our feet are going to return to parallel. The hand's going to sweep. Embracing the tiger, so embracing all life has to offer, good and bad. Imagine a tiger trying to eat you. You're going to hold on very tightly, and the tiger's head's hopefully going to be over your shoulder.
Nice kitty.
You're embracing everything life has. Exhale, return to the mountain. Inhale, we're going to sweep one hand round. Inhale, exhale. This is called cloud hands or conserving. Exhale. Inhale, the inside hand comes up. Outer hand comes down as we exhale. So we are elongating the spine. We are gently turning, finding our comfort zone, inhaling, switching the hands. Exhale, keeping the hands relaxed. I like to wiggle my fingers a little bit, reminds me. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Connecting breath with movement. Exhale. And I like to relate this to our thoughts and the sky. You know, the sky's always clear. And our mind is actually always clear, but we have these clouds on some days.
We just don't know it.
And the clouds some days are darker, and some days they're fluffier and lighter. And those for me are kind of the thoughts and the valleys and mountain tops of the human life's journey. The ups and downs, so to speak. Inhale. Exhale. Now our lower hand's going to come around. The outer hand's going to come back to embrace the tiger. And return to the mountain. Exhale. Inhale, bringing the hands up. Gather in breath. Gather in from earth and heaven, or earth and sky. Inhale. And earth is called yin in Chinese medicine, and that can be associated with healing, with nurturing, with Mother Earth, the divine feminine, if you want to call it that. So I like to imagine I am inhaling, and I am drawing clear intentions, clarity out of a beautiful mountain spring, and I'm just bringing that to my heart. I'm cleansing my heart, in a sense. Inhale, weight in the heels, reaching up into the sky. Well, the sky is always clear, so as you inhale into the sky, into heaven, you think, I want clarity. I want to bring clarity down into my mind, into my life. Inhale, weight into the heels, pay attention to the lower back, make sure you're not overstraining yourself. Exhale, inhale, reaching up into the sky, clarity. What do we need clarity in? Maybe doubts, or inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And I'd also like to note my breath cues are recommendations I find work very well for me, but it's very important that you just meet yourself where your breath is at and your capacity. You don't want to hold the breath. You want to breathe as freely as you can with your lung capacity and where you're at in the present moment. Because the breath is, I mean, we're taught if you don't know what you're doing, do it wrong till you do know what you're doing. Because just breathing and relaxing is so vital, so important. So
we just need to sort of bring this to a close.
Yeah. So closing, we bring that foot we stepped out with. We inhale, bringing the foot back in. Deep inhale, and I encourage people to bring whatever intention they have of healing, of maybe peace of mind, of maybe a certain health condition, whatever it may be, and you bring those intentions consciously, and you just bring them and let them flow through the body. And now, bringing the hands up, this is called Tai Chi meditation. Weight into the heels, relax the knees, realigning the posture. I like to just kind of set my finger in the dimple of my chin, and you'll feel this, wow, chiropractic adjustment. Hands so the elbows aren't too far down, but not too far up. You don't want to feel like you're holding yourself up. There's this place in between. Relaxed hands, weight in the heels, and deep conscious breaths. And you may feel the body naturally wants to sway. We have magnetic, energetic fields all around us, and that's not surprising that we are swayed by something in life, energy, so to speak. Or I should say function. The energy of function, as we talked about earlier.
Right.
Now, bring it in for one more close then. Bring our last intentions in. Exhale. Washing any caries, worries or anything we are carrying with us that we don't need, washing that away and stepping into our day with a new perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity and for allowing me to share this beautiful practice.